doesn't just not understand black culture. He doesn't understand any culture, because why does he have a video where he's got a bunch of guns laid out in front of him? Like he's got, mob ties, but he's currently trying to deal with that problem in court.
Drake just flashed real guns in a wild music video and straight up threatened Kendrick Lamar. But trust Pusha T to call him out for pretending to be tough. Everyone thought Drake would chill after catching that big L in his beef with Kendrick. But nope, here we are in 2025 and Drake's out here talking about shooting people like he's really about that life. Drake's playing mob boss again, but this time, it blew up in his face. Fans are roasting him hard for putting on this fake tough guy act, especially since he's also suing his own label, crying that they destroyed his reputation after he lost the beef. But nobody checked Drake harder than Pusha T. Now the new Clips album finally dropped. And yes, it's got that Kendrick collab Def Jam allegedly tried to kill. Pusha's spilling all the tea about who really tried to sabotage the album and how it all ties back to Drake and his empty threats toward Kendrick.
In the video surrounded by a bunch of choppers. You're the Canadian chopper slinger now.
Oh my God.
You the Toronto trigger squeezer now.
This guy's crazy.
On the first Clips album in 15 years, Let God Sort Him Out, just before it dropped, Pusha delivered a sharp message to Drake on Instagram. Can't nothing stop this greatness. The lies are very telling. The people will never believe these smear campaigns. Pusha didn't even have to drop any names for fans to catch the hint. His post came right after it got exposed that Drake was secretly paying random pages who never even heard a Clips album to trash it online. For weeks now, Drake's diehard fans have been flooding social media, screaming that Clips is irrelevant and that nobody cares about their comeback. They've been posting wild comments like, Clips should be ashamed for dropping the worst rap album I've ever heard. And these guys are pushing 50. Holy wow, I'm gonna laugh watching you all try to hype this trash. Others even said, happy to see Clips struggling. They should focus on making good music instead of chasing more famous rappers just for clout. One post went, poor Clips, waited all this time just to pull shameless social media stunts for an album that's about to get crushed by a new Bieber album, a Travis Scott drop, and Drake running wireless all weekend. LOL, that's like the opposite of a coke high for them. And now Drake's fans are also firing back at Pusha over his smear campaign comment, defending Drake and turning up the drama even more. One user on X posted, there is no smear campaign. Nobody cares about Clips in real life, hasn't in 4 presidents. We know because they're about to tour and can't even sell 20% of the seats. They're crying wolf because reality hit. But here's the twist. Pusha's fans clapped back hard, saying all this noise from OVO fans is just smoke to distract everyone from the fact that Drake just dropped yet another embarrassing diss track and a cringe music video. Drake released his new single, What Did I Miss Over the Weekend? And, just like before, he's whining about people who bailed on him during his feud with Kendrick and switched sides. Oh, and he dropped this track on the 1-year anniversary of Kendrick's Not Like Us, making it obvious he was trying to clap back. But it didn't hit how he thought it would. Fans immediately started roasting Drake for still playing victim when he's the one throwing shots and crying when people fire back. One person on X said, Drake always playing victim. He's the fake one, trying to control your friends. Didn't work for you, huh?
Our favorite Twitter pages are being paid to slander Clips the week of their album release. Man, I've been waiting to have a conversation with y'all like this for a little minute. So yesterday, Kirko, a famous page on Twitter, posted Clips' upcoming album, Let God Sort Him Out, has reportedly surfaced online days before its official release. And they turned their comments off. Now, Kirko has posted like when songs leak and stuff, but usually when big albums are about to come out or albums that people are talking about, like Hurry Up Tomorrow, for instance, the Weeknd's album leaked a couple days before the album drop, or some songs leaked at least. And they didn't necessarily post it, so I did find that weird.
Another added, wish folks would finally get it through their heads. Drake's always playing the victim. Lawsuits, even his latest single, he's got a martyr complex. Kendrick already called this out on Euphoria. Forget battle rapping, he's not built for that life. And of course, people are also bringing up those PDF allegations again. where Drake is suing his own label, claiming they let Kendrick defame him. The drama just keeps getting messier. What's really wild is that What Did I Miss has some seriously questionable bars, the kind nobody facing those kinds of allegations should even think about rapping. Drake actually says, "She might decide to say no to me now, but say yes to me later." Like, we all know what he's trying to imply. But saying it out loud? After the whole world already clowned him for that song calling him assertive and tied to the infamous PDF allegations, that's outrageous. But it didn't stop there. The lyrics were bad enough, but the music video for What Did I Miss had fans straight up laughing in his face. In the video, Drake's just standing in his backyard, surrounded by a pile of guns, acting like he's some kind of boss. But instead of looking scary, fans say the whole thing comes off goofy and desperate, more corny than threatening. The first to call it out was Charlemagne on The Breakfast Club, who ripped into Drake for being extremely corny and straight up cosplaying a shooter. Now Drake's fans are scrambling to defend him, saying everyone missed the symbolism. According to them, the guns in the video are all pointed at him, with 2 snipers aimed right at his head, claiming it's really about how everyone's coming for him. All guns locked and loaded, and Drake still claiming he's standing on business. But plenty of people are saying this is just Drake poking the bear again, throwing shots at Kendrick when he shouldn't.
I mean, y'all don't think it's extremely corny for him to be in a video surrounded by guns?
No, absolutely it is.
What?
Yeah, for sure.
Y'all don't think that's extremely corny?
Yeah. But the song, honestly, it just sounds like another good hit Drake. I mean, a good Drake hit. It don't really sound like...
I don't even know if it's.
I wouldn't
You know
say.
what I mean?
I wouldn't
Like,
say a hit.
It don't.
It's a cool
I mean,
record.
like another Drake, like
Like the
single.
vibe.
Like, okay, cool, like
Yeah.
a vibey single.
Why
like,
is he in the video surrounded by guns? What is the point?
Because
You want to go to war because you lost the rap battle?
He said nobody cared till, they in front of your tombstone. So, what's
I'm
up?
not at him. I'm not mad at it. I just don't love the record. It's a cool record.
Why
I
is
just don't
he
love
in the
it.
video surrounded by guns?
It was a reference to something, but I can look up the
Aubrey
reference.
Gun Graham?
Man, he raised up.
A.R. Graham now. That's who you are now. You're A.R. Graham.
Oh my goodness.
This record would make a lot of sense if Drake hadn't said nothing for the last year and a half. If he hadn't said a word, no lawsuits, no nothing, hadn't said nothing, he just came out, what did I miss? I didn't know what y'all was on. Like, that would make more sense.
Yeah.
But you in the video surrounded by a bunch of choppers. Huh? You're the Canadian chopper slinger now.
Oh my God.
See, I'm just not. It's cool.
You the Toronto trigger squeezer now.
This guy's crazy.
Huh? What's going on?
You are so, I know that man talk about you at therapy. You are so triggering.
Why y'all? But why, man? That's just tone deaf. You in a video surrounded by guns. You lost the rap battle. It is what it is. You got your ass handed to you for the past year and some change. Now you back with the choppers.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Y'all that's
It's
y'all
not
cool
okay.
with that.
One user on X said, "Kendrick is a street dude. He's about that life. Drake is not. He's a pretender, crying in court about people saying mean stuff and claiming he feels threatened while still dissing, flashing guns, and acting tough." Another chimed in, "Mid-legal battle, rapping around a bunch of guns, talking revenge, and then on live stream threatening to assault or kill someone? Yeah, Drake missed big time with this one." In case you missed it, that fan was talking about Drake's wild recent live stream. In it, he drove a box truck around, previewing tracks from his upcoming album, Iceman. But during the stream, a group of kids on bikes shouted the B word at him, quoting "not like us." That's when Drake snapped, cursed back, and warned one kid he could get shot. But, as always with Drake, nothing about it really came off as threatening. It just sounded weak. Oh, and for context, this all went down in Toronto, which is why Drake was laying his thick Toronto accent on heavy that night. Let's circle back to Pusha T, because he's still keeping his foot on Drake's neck. Just days before the new Clips album dropped, Pusha sat down with GQ and ripped into Drake for suing UMG over Not Like Us. Pusha said, "I don't rate him no more. The suing thing is bigger than some rap stuff. I just don't rate you. Damn." He added, "It cheapens the art when we gotta start asking real questions about lawsuits and litigation. Like, what's all this for?" Pusha also revealed that Def Jam tried to get him to ask Kendrick to tone down his verse on the Clips track Chains and Whips, because they worried Kendrick might spit something wild about Drake.
And for them to have, you know, the energy of like, of a censorship level of energy, like, no, we're not putting this out. You stop, you know, talking to my management team.
But Pusha refused, and that's when they allegedly told him to pull the entire record from the album. Pusha stood his ground again, and that's when Def Jam reportedly dropped Clips from the label altogether. This led Clips to lock in a distribution deal with Roc Nation instead. In a fresh interview with Elliott Wilson, Pusha explained how Def Jam kept nitpicking Kendrick's verse, pressuring them non-stop to scrap the collab completely. But Pusha didn't stop there. He even compared this drama with Def Jam to his legendary 2018 beef with Drake, when he dropped the story of Adidon and exposed Drake for hiding a son. In another recent interview with Pop, Pusha explained how after dropping the story of Adidon, several of his tracks mysteriously got shelved, almost like he was being punished for coming at Drake so hard. Pusha said he tried to move past it. But when Def Jam tried to pull the same move with Chains and Whips, he knew he had to stand his ground this time.
And for me, at that point, I was like, man, this shit reminds me too much of 2018. And reminds me of everything that happened, you know, within that year and a half.
Your battle with Drake.
Right, but I mean, just the censorship of it and the things that, you know, were stopped and halted and verses and so on and so forth. I was like, oh, this is a real situation.
According to Pusha, the label even cooked up a wild excuse, claiming they wanted Chains and Whips off the album because he used the phrase Trump card, and they didn't want any smoke with Trump. But Pusha called that out as nonsense, saying the real reason was obvious: to protect Drake, because they didn't want two of his biggest rivals teaming up on the same track. Pusha did try to downplay the lyrics of Chains and Whips, claiming the song isn't even about Drake. But fans weren't buying it. Even the title alone screams a direct shot at Drake. On Drake's collab with Jack Harlow, Churchill Downs, Drake spits, "All I hear is plug talk coming from middlemen," a clear jab at Pusha. Then he turns to Kendrick with another shot. "All I hear is tall tales coming from little men, whips and chains like a dominatrix." So yeah, the fact that Clips in Kendrick's track is titled Chains and Whips, definitely not just a coincidence. Now the big question is, what's Drake gonna do next? With his new album Iceman on the way, the release date still under wraps, Drake already teased on social media that it's dropping this year for sure. So what can we expect from Iceman? Well, after Kendrick crushed him in their beef last year, Drake worked overtime trying to convince everyone he was unbothered. He even dropped that Smooth project with Party Next Door, and folks thought maybe he finally got the message: stick to his R&B rap lane, keep the melodies, and stop acting like a shooter. But here we are. Fast forward to today. And Drake's back on the scene, threatening to shoot people, rapping surrounded by piles of guns, and get this, leaning even harder into the tough guy persona everyone already clowns him for. And fans are already speculating that Iceman might just be Drake's most controversial project yet.
There were quite a few records that were stopped, like, yo, we're not doing this, or was, just basically shelved. And it
Your
was
verses,
yeah,
for
my
instance, on the
verses.
Pop Smoke album.
Yeah, Pop Smoke. But the telling part was when they would get the lyrics wrong.
Oh, sure.
So one day I forget what song this was, but there was a Pop Smoke song that definitely was that had bars in it.
By you.
Yes, but then there was another that didn't, and they thought it did. And I was like, wait a minute, what is going on here? Because, you're interpreting something totally wrong.
Word on the street is that some of the unreleased tracks feature more direct shots at Kendrick and Pusha, with even darker undertones than before. Insiders claim Drake's been recording in secret, locking himself in studios from Toronto to Miami, working with a few unexpected producers, and even rumored to have brought in some UK drill artists to give his sound more edge. That's already got people saying he's trying way too hard to look gritty. On top of that, snippets leaked from Iceman show Drake rapping over cold, eerie beats, dropping lines about revenge, betrayal, and settling scores. which fans immediately linked back to the Kendrick and Clips drama. One fan tweeted,
in your mind, they were being overly sensitive about you rapping about another artist signed to that label. Drake, a huge artist under the Universal banner. And they were sort of playing referee. He was getting Shea Gilgeous-Alexander calls, is what you're saying.
For sure. For sure.
And at that point, you said, all right, I'll keep it moving. You put out Story of Adidon on SoundCloud instead of commercially. The Pop Smoke
that happened.
Removed.
The verses get removed. A couple verses get removed. I move on.
Right.
I just move on musically.
Right.
You know.
So then, fast forward to 2024.
Fast forward, yeah.
Drake and Kendrick do their thing.
Boom.
Drake files a lawsuit.
Boom.
You play them your new song with a Kendrick verse on it.
Boom.
How do they react?
Now, mind you, the energy up to that point is everybody's clamoring, oh, new album's coming, so on and so forth. Excitement, everybody's ready. Listen, we 10 songs, 11 songs, 12 songs away. I mean, you know, close. We show up with the Kendrick verse, and everything's halted. It's halted. It's said that it will not be put out. They just didn't want to put it out. They would not speak via email.
They didn't want anything in writing.
Yeah, the label would not send emails.
Nothing in writing.
Nothing in writing to my management. They would call my management, 10 times in a row, trying to get all of this, trying to, just plead their case. Now, there was nothing even to be, they didn't like the optic. In my opinion, they didn't like the optics
of two Drake foes teaming up.
Right.
Yeah. Did there a line they pinpointed?
Censor? They pinpointed a line where the phrase trump card was used, right? And so stupid. Like, it's like the phrase trump card was used, and they said that they didn't want any problem with Trump or something like that as well.
Unrelated to...
unrelated. Even unrelated. Yeah, totally unrelated.
Just a Trump...
Yeah.
A Trump, so you felt like they were... looking for something.
Of course, they were looking for
to halt the optics.
1,000%.
This man Drake really recorded a whole album acting like John Wick when we all know he's Mr. Degrassi at heart. Meanwhile, even some of Drake's own supporters admit the obsession with shooters and enemies is starting to look more like desperation than confidence. Others, though, are hyped to see if Iceman finally delivers the raw energy he's been promising since last year's feud. So the stage is set. Drake's got the world watching, Kendrick and Pusha waiting to respond, and Iceman already sounding like it could spark another wave of drama the moment it drops. Now Drake's dropping even more cryptic hints on Instagram, making it clear this beef ain't over yet. He teased that Iceman will make folks feel straight up uneasy. He posted, "I grew up non-confrontational and always treated this game like a sport where my pen won gold. But these days, the podium's been hard for all of us to ignore. I understand this next chapter may leave you uneasy, but I hope you see my honesty as clarity, not charity. That answers some questions, especially about those unanswered texts you've been sending me." Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this story. And we'll see you on the next one.